Hey guys, welcome to Friends and Foes. This is Fugi here, the owner, and I'm here with our admin, Awesome, and we're just going to show you the ropes
Hello.
of how to play on the server. If you're new to the server, welcome. If you're not, you probably know most of this, but first we're going to start out just with a general overview of the rules. We do have an index here so you can easily navigate. The rules book is not very descriptive, so that's why we're going to go over it. Our rule number one, ever since we started about 2 months ago, is to be friendly because that's what we're about. We don't like to be mean, we don't call names, and we don't use mature content on the server. We're just generally pretty nice. And a general rule is if you don't have something nice to say, just don't say it. The rules are pretty basic. You can definitely read them. We do have a rule related to animal farms, and it seems really strict, but it's actually not, and we don't enforce it very much. It says that you have to keep a population density of 0.25 entities per square meter, which is a block. Now, what that really means is if you have a cow farm and you have 4 cows, then you need to have a 4 by 4 block pen for them. Now, you don't really have to stick to that to the T, but what it means is don't stick all of your passive entities in one little space, like having 50 chickens in a 3 by 3 area, because it causes a lot of client-side lag, and we're trying to avoid that. So, if you do have that, we will ask you to stop, and if you don't, that's when it becomes a problem. Now, there's generally no PvP on our server. That being said, players are allowed to opt in by typing /PvP off or /PvP on to. Because PvP is generally off, we do not support you attempting to kill players by natural causes such as traps or falling to their death or setting them on fire. That being said, we allow you to claim your own land, and if you clearly state at every entrance to your land that no one is allowed to enter for fear of death, then you can set as many traps as you want. When you join the server, you will be a guest, and you can apply pretty simply online. There's a link inside the book. And the reason that we do this is because we started out as a whitelisted server, but we really wanted to allow people to start playing right away. But you won't be able to claim land or set your home to teleport when you're a guest. That being said, we check the guest application form multiple times a day, and if you're a little bit impatient and one of us is on, just please ask us to check. We do run plugins, although not many. The main 3 plugins that we run that change things are MCMMO, which you really don't need to run any commands for. MCMMO is like an RPG plugin that lets you level up your skills. And really, you won't notice it except that you'll get double drops on things. It does have the popular Tree Feller, which lets you chop down a tree with one blow. Now, you do have to right click with your axe to do that. We also run a protection plugin called Landlords, and this plugin is really nice. It lets you claim and have complete control over land and add friends and control what they can do. Um, that being said, you get 9 chunks to claim, and we'll get more into that later. Okay guys, so I'm here with Awesome, our admin in the desert, and we're just going to display how the Landlords plugin works. It's really quite simple, and we really like it. So, the first thing you really want to do before you even start trying to claim land is type the command /LL space map. Then you hit enter, and on your right, you'll see a land map, and it looks a little bit confusing, but every gray block that you see in there is actually a chunk, and the middle is you. Now you'll see these little white guys moving around, and that's actually like a needle point on a compass. It shows where you're facing. Awesome, can you go ahead and claim a chunk nearby?
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Okay, I've
Uh,
got this one.
okay, so now you can actually see that I am facing a chunk that is red, and it belongs to someone else. So when I enter, it says, now entering Awesome JTS's land, and when I leave, it says the same thing. So it's pretty simple to figure out what's what. Now, we do have a rule that you cannot claim land adjacent to someone else's land. So if I were to claim this land right here, now you do see a fancy little border, but you also see on the map that it's right next to Awesome's land. And then what that does is it prevents him from being able to expand his own land, and it makes him feel claustrophobic. So we have a rule that you have to keep at least one neutral turf in between yours and someone else's land. That being said, if you accidentally mess up and you claim land near someone else, or you just don't want your land anymore, you can type /ll unclaim to unclaim it. And that being said, also to claim land, you type /ll claim. Now, once you do claim land, that land chunk prevents anyone else from doing anything. That's killing animals, breaking blocks, except for Awesome because he's an admin, so I'm going to demote him for this part. Okay, so now I'm standing in my land, and we both have PvP toggled off. The beauty of this is I can actually attack him, and he can't attack me. That being said, you can't do that unless you claim that there's no trespassing in your land and it's obvious. So the the reason I say this is there's peace of mind standing in your own land. People can't hurt you. That being said, hostile mobs can. Now, say Awesome is my friend, and I want to add him to my land. I can type /ll add friend Awesome. And then you see all these hearts around the plot. But that's actually because I only added him to the specific plot that I'm standing in. So he's a friend of this land. Now you can do /ll add friend /ll friend all Awesome, and that will add him to all of your chunks. Now, you may not want your friends to be able to steal stuff from your chests, but you do want them to be able to seek shelter in your home. Type /ll manage, and then you have a graphical interface to manage the permissions on the specific chunk that you're standing in, and you can adjust them for friends and everyone. So these adjustments are TNT block damage, opening and closing doors and gates, player versus player combat, building and destroying, redstone usage such as levers and pressure plates, harming animals. You don't want people to harm your animals, or you don't want your friends to. And opening containers. All you really have to do is click the green block to disallow it, or click the red block to allow it. So again, that's for everyone and friends. So you can easily customize on every plot what everyone can do and what friends can do. What I usually do is I say, no, my friends can't open my chest, kill my animals, build or destroy, or grief with TNT, but yes, they can operate my redstone contraptions, they can kill other people, and they can open doors. Just as a quick display, I'm going to place a chest and ask Awesome to open it.
No can do.
He can't. But if I were to allow that, now he can, because he's my friend. Zombie! I should have brought a sword or a bow or something.
Well, my MCMO fists are pretty strong.
Yeah. Okay, so we do run an economy that's vault-based, and the economy is pretty cool. Now, this book won't actually help you a lot in exactly what it does, but it will tell you how to set up a vault. So the plugin uses emeralds, which are our physical representation of a virtual currency. Now, you can use commands and such to make transactions, but you can also just trade with pure emeralds. So to make the vault for storing the emeralds, all you have to do is place a chest. It doesn't actually have to be against a wall. I'm just going to give myself a sign here. Then you just place a sign on the chest. It doesn't really matter where. And all you have to do is write vault in brackets on the top line, the very top line. And then it automatically makes your vault. Now you may notice that Awesome is able to open my vault. So you want to be careful where you put your vault. Don't let your friends open and close containers where your vault is if you don't trust them. That being said, there may be no money in this vault, but there is money in some of my other vaults. I actually have 50 emeralds. And you can have as many vaults as you want because they actually take up physical space in those chests. So I'm just going to make an example of withdrawing money virtually from my vault so that I can then put some into this one. So I'm going to type money withdraw, and this may seem backwards, but then you put the quantity. There we go. So now I can put the money in my vault, and you may see that I still have the same balance that I did before, which is 50. Even if I hold it in my hand, I have the same virtual balance. But if I were to throw it, then now I have 45 emeralds. Awesome just picked them up. So if he were to do the same thing, he would then see that he has it. So whether it's in your vault or in your hand, you have that virtual currency. Now, if I wanted to pay him without throwing him the item, I could type /money, pay 5, awesome, and that would pay 5 emeralds to him. This does work with fifths of an emerald or decimal points, but you don't get the physical representation in that scenario. Now, I did just send him 5 emeralds, but you still see I have 5 emeralds in my hand. That's because it took it from my vault. So I'm just...
And it put it directly into my vault.
And it put it directly into his vault, that's right. So then he could withdraw it, as we showed earlier, if he wanted that money in hand. Okay, we also run a Player Shops plugin which uses real villagers to do trading for you, and it's really simple and also very cool. In order to set up a villager shop, you don't need to set up weird signs or anything, and you don't even need to run commands. All you have to do is right-click to place a chest, and then right-click that chest with a villager spawn egg. And then you'll see it says chest selected, right-click a block to place your shopkeeper. So I'm just going to right-click the block right in front of the chest. And now you see this villager. He may look a little weird because I'm running Spax, but that is a villager, and you can actually give him a name and everything. If you shift or hold the sneak key and then right-click him, you can then edit what he does. So first thing I'm going to do is give him a name. Oh, awesome. Can you...
I got him.
Yeah, thank you. I'm getting shot by a skeleton here. I might have wanted to do this in God mode. Okay, it says type a dash to remove the name, but I want to add a name. So all I'm going to do is just write an alphabetical. I don't believe it accepts alphanumeric names. I'm just going to write a name real quick. I call mine Boog Slave, and you can name all of them the same thing if you want. So now you see his name up there. It says Boog Slave, and I call him my slave because he sells stuff for me and he doesn't get paid. That's right, there are no taxes on this transaction. And what happens is if I were to put an item in the chest, such as a redstone lamp, I could then sell it. So I just right click him. You see he currently has no trades, but if I shift or sneak and click him, you see these slime balls under the item I just put in? If you click the one right under it, then it makes it charge a block of emerald, which is actually 9 emeralds for one redstone lamp, which is a little bit steep. Now I can also right click that to decrease the amount. So I'm going to make it cost just an emerald here. So now if you right click and it says 1 emerald will get you 1 redstone lamp. And you make that transaction just like you would with a vanilla villager. Awesome, would you go ahead and buy that lamp?
Yep.
Don't throw it at him.
I got it.
Okay, so now if I were to open the chest, there's no more redstone lamp because I only put in 1, but here's the emerald. So what the villager does is he just takes the items from the chest, sells them, and then puts the emeralds back in. The cool thing is, if you want to have this money go directly into your virtual bank account, all you have to do is just put that vault sign somewhere on the chest, and then, that's right, you can store things other than emeralds inside a vault. Once you do that, then that money is sent directly into your vault, and you don't have to go and withdraw the emeralds from the chests.
Okay.
Okay, so Awesome and I are now going to go to the marketplace on our server, which is a player market. So to get there, just type /warp_market, and then you'll see, here we are, at this weird little caravan type looking marketplace. Now, once you're here, you'll see a few player shops. This one is mine. It says Fugimeister Forever, because I'm the owner. I get to keep it forever. So then you see all these Boog slaves, because that's what I call them. Here I sell mining spoils and tools, so you right click him, and you'll see you can get emeralds, or you can get iron blocks, whatever. You can sell whatever you want to in here. And inside the chest, I organized it in this way. You just see the items that I'm selling, and then the emeralds that I've gotten for selling them. Now, if you want to set up a store here, first thing you're going to need to do is actually get a villager spawn egg. So you go over here, it's just to the left, right in front of the market. You talk to the market manager. You can actually get emeralds for gold here if you want to. It's the way most people get emeralds. And then you can buy a villager spawn egg for 12 emeralds, and then you can set up your shop. Now, if you want to move your shop, something that you can actually do, I'll show you over here, is when you open that shop manager, when you sneak and then right click, you can hit the fire and then delete him, and then you actually get the spawn egg inside of your menu, or inside of your hotbar, or your inventory, wherever it wants to go. And then you may notice you can't actually you can't put him back because you didn't just build that chest. So you do have to place the chest when you place the villager. So you place the chest, right click, and then right click again, and there you have your shop again. You will need to rename him and everything. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that you can actually change the color of the robes on your villager by clicking the wool block on the right. Another thing to note is that the inventory manager here, the shopkeeper editor, can only handle 8 items. So each villager will only trade 8 items for you, or at least 8 unique trades. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this clears some things up. Please give Awesome some thanks for helping me here. And enjoy your time on the server.